Ooh, sit boo-boo. July 5th here in southern Ontario, Canada. See if I can get that phone propped up. I want some 8 if I can. Well, good enough, I guess. What's happening in France? If you've been following the channel for any length of time, yeah, to heck with it, who cares what it looks like, right? You know that I've been following France and Holland because I think they're harbingers of what's happening in all of the Western countries. So let's just dive right into it. What is happening in France is a mass migration problem brought on by the WEF's edicts and very much the European Union Parliament, an unelected body, which is just another branch of the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And of course, Macron, the leader of France, the president, is a Young Global Leaders graduate. Sorry about that. And has stated that he is following and will continue to both follow and hasten the New World Order. So, the mass migration, as it's referred to, I mean, in France, it serves as a pathway largely from northern Africa, but not exclusively, for illegal immigrants into the UK. Now, all of these European Union countries, the UK, Canada as well, I'll assume Australia and the United States, all signed some pact a while ago where if you can get into the country, you get to stay. Doesn't matter if you're illegal, doesn't matter if you're a criminal from where you come from, doesn't matter if you're on a terrorist watch list. Hey, make your way into the country, you get room and board, you're all good to go. So the rioting, the violence, the destruction, the looting, the whole bit, France in flames, are migrant youth. Let's call it what it is, because that is what it is. And you should note that the French nationalist youths are out patrolling the streets trying to stop this destruction. I mean, the youth that lost his life, that was the catalyst, the 17-year-old boy, it's a George Floyd moment, was the catalyst, but not the cause. It was the spark that ignited the fire that was laid again by the WEF. I don't think there's much hope for France, really. I mean, well, let's take a step back. What they're destroying is, as the Black Lives Matter did in the States, burn down the local grocery store. There's some good thinking. But I don't know how France is going to get out of this one. The civil unrest is going to continue to grow. It's inevitable. Macron won't turn loose the army. His answer, it's caused by video games and social media, so he shuts down social media like the migrant youth can't, well, and can and do use their cell phones to organize. So, video games and social media is not the problem, Mr. Macron, and we all know it. I mentioned Macron is a Young Global Leaders graduate and WEF member. What we see happening in Holland, they're only a couple of steps behind the farmers' revolt, where Mark Rutte, their prime minister, graduated the Young Global Leaders class program 1992, same year as Justin Trudeau. And of course, here in Canada, our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Chrystia Freeland, sits openly on the Board of Trustees at the WEF. So, the civil unrest, well, it's anarchist and will only become more anarchist to the point of, what do you want to call it? The country in flames beyond what it is now. Yeah. So, that's how it started, and that's how it's going to continue. France just happens to be the first. It spilled into Belgium and Switzerland, but I mean, Germany's having the same problems. Italy, mass migration problems. The UK, well, we know what's happening there. Oof. Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell. That's the summation. I'm sure I'll follow it and comment on it, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. I can't see anything short of a drastic, unforeseen measure, which would be Macron and his minions hauled off to the guillotine. Should I have said that? I did.